Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If today is your first time here, welcome on board. My name is Alaba. I'm a travel enthusiast and a content creator. Please support your boy by hitting the subscribe button if you're here to subscribe. Please do that for me, okay? Today, I'm going to be doing a video on how to pass the TELC Dutch test for Zuwanderer. Zuwanderer means immigrants or foreigners. Dutch test for foreigners in Germany. I'm going to give you tips on how to pass the exam or the Prüfung, as the German will call it, with ease. If this sounds interesting to you, please stick around, okay? Welcome back. Please know that this exam is in three different parts. You have the hearing and reading, which German call hören und lesen. Okay, and we have the schreiben, which is writing in English, and we have the speaking part, which is called Sprechen. Okay, I'm going to divide the video in three parts. The first part is the hearing and listening part, which the Dutch people call hören und lesen. Okay, I'm going to tell you the structure of the first part, what you need to do to be able to pass the examination with ease, okay? Most of the things I'm going to share with you is basically for my experience, okay? For me, if you want to pass this part with ease, you need to, what I did personally is I installed Dutch radio on my phone. I listen to news from time to time. I watch movies in German. I listen to music. I listen to a lot of German music, and I read newspapers. Any flyers I can find, I try to read. I read anything they write on billboards and everything. Okay, and you can also do this by changing some of the text on your phone, the settings to German. I think um, this will help to build your reading and hearing ability if you do some of these things. Okay. For me, I've worked as a customer service representative for years. So for the hearing part, I've been trained for active listening. So I have this ability. So this actually helped me a little to be able to grab the language a little. Okay. So let me quickly dive into it. The hearing part is 20 questions, and the first 5 questions is you're listening to a dialogue. Okay. When you listen to this dialogue, what our advice is for when you get the question paper, just go to the question and answer. Okay, when you read the answers and you read the question, then you have a clear understanding of what is expected from you. Okay, so when they play the dialogue, you just look out for what the answer is, because you are going to listen to the dialogue just once. They play a dialogue for a few seconds, and there's an extended silence. Then you pick the answer, and I think this dialogue is less than 10 seconds or so. Once you listen to the dialogue, you answer the questions accordingly. The first 5 questions is one dialogue, then you provide the answer for the first 5. Then the next 5, from 6 to 10, is one dialogue, you answer 2 questions. In this part, you answer 2 questions to one dialogue. The first question is the answer, and the next one will be a sentence and either true or false. Okay? Then from number 10 to number 15, you listen to extended dialogue. This one is a protracted dialogue that is a bit long, then you use it to answer a lot of questions. I think from number 10 to number 15. Then another one. The last one is number 15 to number 20. This one is a very long dialogue. Then they you answer 2 questions, true or false. You are going to answer 5 questions with the same dialogue. It's a very long dialogue, like a recording of maybe an event. Then you have to, first of all, they give you some time to read the questions accordingly. After that, then the dialogue plays. You just have to listen attentively, and it's crazy. You just have to listen attentively and answer the questions thereafter. Okay. I hope this tip will help some of my viewers. All right. So going on to the next one. The next one is the reading part. The reading part is from number 20 to from number 21 to number 45. It's actually 45 questions. The first 20 questions is hearing, that's hearing, and from number 21 to number 45 is lesen, that is reading. I'll give you a tip. The first from number 20 to from number 21 to number 30 is like a catalog where you have different items. Like for instance, if you're going to a shop where you're supposed to see, let's say, necklace, where you're supposed to see home appliance, accessories, food, and everything, there will be a very big catalog. Then in this catalog, they give you questions that, okay, if you are looking for, let's say, a CD player, where are you going to find this CD player? You have to look at the catalog they give to you and tell them the room where you can find this. Okay, there will be questions there accordingly, and they will put different rooms. You have to search in the catalog to find where you are going to see the item you're looking for. For instance, they can say, if you want to make a driver's license, where are you going to, in which room are you going to visit if you want to do a driver's license? And in this catalog, there will be a driving school, university, primary school in German. Everything is going to be in German. So you have to think fast as to know the room you find this. And in some instance, the answer to the question is not there. There will be another option there, which is none of the above. So there will be option A, option B. The option C will be if the item you're looking for is not there. So it's a little bit tricky. That's number 21 to number 30. Then from number 31 to number 40 is a long comprehension passage. Okay, so you have to read the comprehension passage, and it's like lessons and structure. Your ability to understand what the comprehension or what the passage says. Then after reading this, you have to answer. Is actually divided into 2 different parts, 2 comprehension passage and 5 questions each. Okay, I think for some of the questions, number 1 is like 2 in 1. The first question, they are going to ask a direct question, and the next question, they extract a sentence and ask you if the sentence is true or false. That is for the 10 straight comprehension passage. And for the last part, it's going to be filling the gap. It could be a letter or an email. They write a letter, and there'll be blank spaces there. Then they give you options as to the best possible answer to the blank spaces. Okay, that is for the number 40 to number 45. I would advise that if you want to pass this part with ease, I would advise you go to your A1, that's your beginner's class, and take care of your the adjectives, accusative, dative, nominative, and all that. You have to be conversant with this if you want to pass this part, because they use a lot of adjectives in this part. So just take care of your A1, your A2, your advanced, your beginner, your advanced beginner, and your intermediate level. In this part, from number 40 to 45, is actually A1 and A2. So you have to be at par with this part as well. All right. So that is the hearing and reading parts, the hearing and lesen. So after that, you have, I think, 45 minutes to answer all these questions. The hearing and the hearing and the reading part is 45 minutes in all. So after this 45 minutes, the script will be taken from you. Then you go to the next phase. The next phase is the writing part. Okay, that's the Dutch call it schrijven. In schrijven, you either have a letter or an email. I'm going to give you the tips of what is expected from you in this part, in this letter writing. You have just 30 minutes to write something meaningful, and you just have to think fast and put something down. I'm going to give you like a tip of what is expected and what you're supposed to do. Okay. For email, you don't need to put in, if you have to write an email, you don't need to put any date. You just go straight to the body of the letter. The first thing you have to write in German, to say dear Sir, Madam of English, in German is sehr geehrte Damen und Herren. That's if you don't know the, I'm going to put all this on the screen so you have an idea of what I'm trying to say. So if you don't have the name of the person you're writing, you just will say geehrte Damen und Herren. But if the person is a man, for instance, you put sehr geehrter with R and put the person's name. And note that the first, in English, the first thing you write, you leave a paragraph. In Dutch, there's no paragraph. You write the first letter you write in small letters, then you continue with your letter. If the person is a female, you put sehr geehrter without R, with E, then you put the woman's name, then you continue with the letter. At the end, if it's a formal letter or if it's an email to a formal email, let me put it like that, you put mit freundlichen Grüßen at the end. But if it's informal, you put a liebe Grüße if you don't know the person's name. But if you know the person's name, if this person is a man, you put a lieber with R, the person's name. And if it's a woman, you put liebe, the person's name. Okay? And I want to quickly chip this in. You are expected to write between 70 to 80 words. If you are writing a letter or an email, 70 to 80 words, and you are expected to build 2 to 3 Nebensätze, okay? And there are some things they look out for. They look out for the words you use. There are some keywords you have to use if you want to pass the writing part, okay? The keywords include, you have to use weil, wenn, bis, trotzdem, obwohl, sowohl, möglicherweise, wahrscheinlich, vermutlich. These words, you can pick 4 or 5 of these words and play around with it in the letter, okay? When you do this, I'm sure you don't have any problems passing this part, okay? I'm going to put my results at the right side of the screen, so it's not as if I'm just blabbing. I know what I'm saying. It's what I've done and what actually worked for me. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you, like a YouTube channel you can visit. The person is a German teacher. This will help you if you watch his videos. It's going to help you prepare for the exam as well, okay? So if you follow all these instructions I gave to you, I'm sure you'll be able to write a good email or a good letter. You have to also practice. You keep practicing, and you shouldn't have any problem. And note that in this letter, they'll give you 4 points what you're supposed to write about, the reason why you're writing, and the points you're supposed to build on. And make sure that in this letter you write for each point at least 1 or 2 sentences in each what you're supposed to write about. Just build 1 or 2 sentences for each. You have like 4, so you build 1, 2 sentences, 1, 2 sentences for each point, and after this you just put the closing, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Okay, that is for the writing part. For the speaking part is divided into 3 different parts. You have the sich vorstellen, the Bildbeschreibung, and etwas zusammenplanen. The sich vorstellen of English is telling about yourself. The Bildbeschreibung is for you to describe a picture, what you can see in the picture. And etwas zusammenplanen of English is to plan something with your partner or the examiner. Okay, so I'm going to give you a detailed way of how to do this. Okay, for the sich vorstellen, which is the telling the examiner about yourself, you're supposed to give more information about yourself. They'll give you a guide on what to say. That is your name. Wohnort is where you live. Your beruflich or Beruf or Arbeit, that is what you do for work. Your family, where your family is, if your family is here or in your homeland. Your hobbies, you say something about what you like doing in your leisure time. And the last one is Sprechen. Sprechen is the languages you speak. So in this part, you tell them about your name, where you come from, what you've done, where you're coming from, and when you got to Germany, what you did, how long you've lived in the country. I'm giving you tips on what to say, how long you've lived in the country, where you live at the moment, if you are working or if you are not working, if you are unemployed, okay, if you work, what you did for work, how long you worked there, your family, if you are single, if you are married, if you have children, if your parents live here, you say all this, okay? And for the languages you speak, you tell them the language you speak in your home country, which other language you speak. If you speak fluent German, if you speak a little German, you say this. Then in your what you do in your free time, that's your hobbies, you also chip this in. After saying all this, the examiner will ask you questions based on what you said previously. Okay, so be expected to give accurate answers to these questions. And also note that don't care about making mistakes, because you cannot speak the language like a German or a native. Just what they look out for is how fluent you are, how confident you are when you speak. Okay, that is for the first part, which is sich vorstellen, telling about yourself. The next phase is Bildbeschreibung, that is describing a picture. In this part, you'll be given a picture to describe. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a guide on what to say, and this will be like an helpful guide. Okay, in the picture, you tell them what you can say in the picture, the situation in the picture, what is happening in the picture. After saying this, try to give details of everything you can say there. For things you don't know, don't need to rack your head about this. Just go to the next one. Give details of what you can see. If there's something at the background, what you can see in front, what you can see on the right side, what you can see on the left side, you say this. After saying all this one, then you can fantasize about, for instance, if there are two people there, you can describe what the people are wearing, the color, this is where the adjectives comes in. You use the adjectives well. You tell them the color of their hair, if their hair is short, if it's long, if they're wearing a wristwatch, you describe this. If they are wearing a ring, you describe it. Even to the hearing, if they are wearing an hearing, you describe this as well. After saying this, then you can guess the age of the people. You can say that if these people, they are happy, if they are not happy, if you think the people, you can say there, if you relate it to in your country. For instance, if these people, if the situation is maybe a lady went to the hospital to see the doctor, you tell them that maybe this lady went to the doctor because she's sick or she has an appointment with the doctor, something like that. Then you can relate it to what happens in your country in this situation. Like if you go to the doctor in your country, what are the things you expected to encounter before you see your doctor or something like this. So just think outside the box and interpret this. When you do this, then the examiner will ask you questions about what you've said as well. Okay, let me just give you a short tip on what you have to say. This one will be like a guide. You can say often build a seat man. That is what you can say there. Then you can say dot is out. Maybe if there's another person, a dot is out, feeling mentioned in further ground or something like that. Then you can say in grund, that is if there's something behind, you can say, okay, a seat man or gibt is, that you can say something there. Then in further ground, if after in further ground is after the ground, if they say something ahead, you can use this one. Then you can say off the right side, gibt is or seat man, like what you can see on the right side. Or if you can say something on the left side, you can say off the link side, salesman or give this. You can also say this one. Then after saying all this one of in Dutch, then you can now say what you think the winter is. Sorry, what you think the weather is, if because of what they are wearing. If it's summer, then you can say you think it's summer because the people you are saying there are wearing light clothes. Or you can say it's winter because they are wearing a jacket or something. You can say this one. Then you can also guess the age of the people there. That I think these people, they are colleagues and they should not be more than 20, 25, 30 years, Just play around with it, okay? And when you do this, it should be fine, okay? Then the last part is advanced exam planning. That is, you plan something with your partner or the examiner. In this part, there's also a guide to what to say and what not to say, okay? For instance, they say there's a classical in this case. Maybe you are in a school, they tell you to plan an excursion with your colleagues or your classmates. You're going to another state, so you can plan with your colleagues when you have to meet, what time you have to meet, what you need to bring along, and how you are going to take care of the transportation. These are the points they give you to build on. So you are expected to use two keywords, either content or zoting. That is, if you want to have content where else so treffing, you can do so. And if you are the other person, you can answer by via content, or if you're the person asking the question, you can say volume via. You use volume. Okay, then you can say volume via on am Samstag treffen. Then the other person will say via content am Samstag treffen. Something like that. Then you go to the next question like that. And if you agree with the person, you can say that's the felt idea. That is, I like the idea. If you don't like the idea, you can say that's gefällt mir nicht. That is, and if you want to suggest, you can say it's very better when we are so. That is, and in this part, you're supposed to accept or agree to a suggestion. You're supposed to also disagree. And when you disagree, you have to suggest. They call it Vorschlag. After you disagree, you make a suggestion, okay, in this part. So that is basically what you need to do in this part. If you do this correctly, you shouldn't have a problem passing this part as well. So this brings us to the end of the video. I promised I was going to tell you the link to the German teacher. The name of the German teacher is Benjamin. Just go to YouTube, type Benjamin Deutsch Lehrer on YouTube. Deutsch Lehrer Benjamin, or type Benjamin. Then you beside it put Deutsch Lehrer. That is Benjamin German teacher. When you put this, all his videos will come out. Then you can watch, and this, I believe these videos will help you because it actually helps me, so it can help you too. Okay, so thank you for your time and see you on the next one. Bye.